All right. Well, welcome back to the Durable Podcast. Today we're talking about my favorite day of the work week, Wellness Wednesdays. You know the one. It's the day that people like me used to send an email with a subject line like Namaste at your desk. It's the day we put a bowl of organic kale chips in the break room next to the microwave that's been broken for the last 6 years and tell you that your mental health is our priority. But we all know what happens next, right? Wellness Wednesday is just the appetizer for Panic Attack Thursday because while you were spending 30 minutes in a mandatory desk yoga session led by a guy named Chaz who doesn't know what a spreadsheet is, your inbox was quietly accumulating 42 new urgent email action items. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on care washing, the corporate habit of using pizza parties and breathing apps to fix structural issues. We're going to talk about why high performing people don't fail suddenly, they fail predictably. Let me start by giving you some background here. So, I've been a leader in the corporate health and wellness space for about 15, 16 years now. Wellness and programming and strategy have really come a long way from back in the days of your standard health fairs and smoking cessation programs, the take the stairs programs and campaigns. Now, some of the stigma and perception around kind of those fluffy wellness type solutions still exists, right, in the corporate world. And even though strategy, design, research data, metrics, outcomes, all of those things have significantly improved, there's still some who relate wellness to just step challenges and flu shots. I can tell you from experience that where well-being is today in terms of, the culture of the organization, performance, leaders, integration with the business and outcomes, collaboration across enterprises and overall importance and value to employees, it's pretty remarkable, especially when we think about where things began. At Durable, we have a very specific philosophy, and that is that high performing people and organizations rarely fail suddenly. They fail because capacity erodes, recovery lags, and judgment starts to narrow. But instead of looking at why that capacity is eroding, maybe, just maybe, it's those back to back meetings all day long, the shifting goalposts all the time, maybe just lack of general resources. But companies reach for the old school wellness gimmick or perk. And I've experienced this many times in my career. We're just going to throw some dollars at it and build a sense of community and belonging, and then we're good, right? Sometimes it can feel like buying everyone a standing desk so they can be upright while they burn out. You can't meditate your way out of a 60-hour work week, and you can't sync up your way out of a toxic culture. And this is what I like to call building a skyscraper with toothpicks. Leaders set these impossible skyscraper sized goals, and then they give the team a toothpick sized wellness app and wonder why everybody is crumbling by Thursday morning. So, if yoga your way out of burnout isn't the answer, well, what is? True durability isn't just about toughness or taking more hits, it's about making risk visible very early on. We certainly don't wait for a plane to fall out of the sky to start checking the engines. We look for those early warning signs. And sometimes, especially in the workplace, those have been normalized or ignored to a greater extent. I've experienced that more times than I can count in my career. Leaders seem to be too busy or too disconnected to actually recognize these early warning signals about themselves or from their teams that something might seriously be at risk of breaking. So I want to say to you, if you are a leader, I would encourage you that your job isn't to rescue your team from all the discomfort, right? Discomfort is certainly where growth can happen. Your job is to distinguish between discomfort that signals growth and difficulty, sometimes extreme difficulty that signals risk. And the key here is if you think it might be a risk, don't ignore it, right? Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't tell somebody to hang in there. Things will get better, right? That's not helpful. Panic attack Thursday happens for most of us because we've ignored the signals on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and we've over indexed on trending soft skills and underinvested in the foundational competencies like self awareness, like values alignment, like solid systems, right? The things that actually drive long term performance. So before we wrap up, let's run your current workload through what I call the durability filter. If you're feeling that Thursday panic creeping in, and maybe it's only Monday, you can ask yourselves these three things. So, number one, does this solve a current problem or is it just extra noise? Is this actually fixing something that needs to be fixed or is it something extra? Number two, does it need to happen now or can it wait? Right? Most of us have a ton of priorities on our list today. Is this really something because it came from someone higher up or someone that's a leader in the organization? Does it have to happen now? Can it wait? And number three, if I do choose to ignore it, is it going to create a bigger headache for me down the road? Or is it maybe just going to hurt somebody's feelings for a little bit? Right. And that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes. Right. But you have to weigh out sort of the pros and cons. Right. Your durability is certainly important in this circumstance. You need to protect that. So the win is in choosing better battles, not fighting more of them, right? So stop touching base and let's start setting some boundaries. If you're sitting there at work and your Wellness Wednesday doesn't include the permission to say no to some sort of useless meeting or project or collaboration effort, that's not wellness, right? It's just marketing, right? It's not helpful to anybody. So as we close out, I just like to say appreciate you listening to this episode of the podcast. If you're tired of care washing and want to build durable leaders and teams that actually last, I'd love for you to head over to my website. You can learn more about the durable approach. And for the love of all things holy, let's just skip the kale chips from now on. I can't imagine really anybody truly likes those. I'll see you next time.